Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Pierre Shorts. And today's topic that I want to kind of bring up, which is why do people say one thing and do another? What I'm speaking about in particular is when a person turns around and says to you, "Oh, you know what? Let's change it up a little bit. How about if you are interested in someone, okay? And they say everything appropriately. They tell you what you want to hear. And they say, yeah, I mean, for this type of moral, I look for that type of moral. I look for this kind of quality in a person. I look for that kind of quality in a person." And you're thinking that your mindsets are pretty much like a pair of tracks. They're paralleling along. Everything's going along well. And you're saying, hey, what can I do to, you know, enhance things a little bit? And you're looking up saying, gee, this is the kind of person I want to be with because this person is saying the right things and saying, they enjoy this type of sport, they actually enjoy this type of person, this moral, this other kind of thing. They are not in this kind of clique, and all of the things that you're into. And maybe that is the warning sign, really, is when a person agrees too much. Because just as fast as I was kind of like into a person and saying, hey, everything was, in my opinion, working out great, from what I could tell. Then the warning flags started creeping up, which is I could try to call that person. That person doesn't receive the calls, doesn't answer calls back, and I'd have to go through a third party to get that person to contact. And it's like, that's a problem. But the third party's like, no. This person's great. Don't worry. Everything's great. Okay. Well, come to find out later on, this person completely and totally lied. And I'm talking about with a great big L. And turns around and says I made, that person feel one type of way when that person ran right back out and did the very same thing that accused me of. It's like, oh, wait a minute. Huh? So which then makes me stop and say, the reason that you came up for not being into me is not a valid reason, because you had to dig up out of the trough to come and try to find something. Come to find out, it's all about this person was lonely, knew the art of I can sense what you want and I will agree with you. I will agree with all the morals, all the things that are important to you, and I'll have to abide by any of them. And the person didn't even have the strength, the decency to contact me back and say, well, it's not really working out. I can handle when a person says things aren't working out. Not everybody is for everyone. Trust me. I am not everyone's cup of tea in the morning. Trust me on this. I know this. Okay? But I think it was rather weak of that person to not be forthright, not come forward, And, there's a certain level of fear or hesitation. I understand that, but I thought this person was going to be adult enough to actually do the right thing. Come to find out, no. And thinking about it, it stops and says, hey, am I bitter about it? Am I upset? At one point I was upset, but then when I got to understand a person's immaturity, really, I was less and less upset. Saying, you know what? This person will get theirs because they're going to learn the hard way. You don't behave this way. That's not even decent. But that's okay, because that person is going to learn. As Alanis Morissette puts it best, you live, you learn. Isn't that ironic? So, the message in this little rant today is more or less of be decent to one another. Be decent. Decency also includes communication. Decency also is don't agree with a person just because they're saying one thing and you're trying to beat your loneliness, so you would try to meld yourself to any way that they want it, but you're not really into that person at all. So you disappoint the other person. And then when you lie, it only makes you look even uglier. So just be decent. Message for today.